Good morning, parents. Good morning, boys and girls. Yo, relax, dog. Jeez. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about the importance of labels and so on and so forth. As far as using them for people, as you may know, we use labels for just about anything you can think. There's even labels within labels within labels within a constant spiral of agonistic existence pleading to be let off the never-ending hamster wheel with a quick and simple. Now, you can label me as an existentialist. You can label me as an existentialist because I firmly believe that everything in existence is but an idea. Think about this. We wouldn't have a hot pockets if no one thought about it. We wouldn't have air if no one thought about it. And everything that isn't thought of is unacknowledged, and therefore non-existent. Everything that is ventured is acknowledged, falling under ideas, and everything that isn't is just unknown.
What the hell are you talking about?
Bear with me. Alright, with that considered, everything is just an idea. Anything physical you can think about is a physical manifestation of an idea. As people, or anything sentient for that matter, I'd like to say we naturally label ideas out of instinct to take a mental note of something. Example, let's say you go to a cookout, right? And you had this thing, you don't know what the hell this thing is. You had this thing and it was really good and you want it again. How are you going to have it again if you don't even know what it was? You didn't label it. It has no name. So you need a label to kind of essentially bookmark a thing. You can use a label to bookmark the name of a friend. You can use a label to bookmark the thing that you ate, like at the cookout. Like, what the fuck? What was that, dude? What did I just eat? It was a glizzy. You ate a hot dog, dude. Anyways.
So what's the importance of this today?
The importance of this today is the way labeling gets used. Now, coming back to the matter at hand when it comes down to labels, I said I was going to talk about labels pertaining to people and people using labels and labels and people and labels versus people and labels and power and all that other I say power, whatever. I said power right now. Anyways, we're forgetting the importance of labels. We're simply forgetting the importance of labels because we've been abusing the powers of labels for social reasons and placing labels where they shouldn't have been. We're labeling things without evidence of a thing. You know, these ideas, as I said in the beginning, they spiral out into different webs and branches of labels, right? So it's label plus label plus label plus label plus label plus label plus label, and I could go on for so long. It's label plus label equals a thing, or it's label divided by label equals a thing, or it's label times a label equals a thing. And what am I getting at is that there's got to be an evidence, because we're mixing things to get a thing, right? And most people aren't showing their work. They're just assuming things. Take, for example, a stranger you don't know of. You feel a weird way about them, and you don't necessarily have any evidence against the stranger. And you just automatically assume that the stranger is a thing, so you label the stranger as a thing without any given evidence. So you're taking labels and you're applying it to a thing without any labels, further executing the reason why you're labeling the thing. So some people are unknowingly, out of ignorance, labeling things and labeling people, and some people just go about labeling things and labeling people on purpose just for social power. You know what I'm saying? People are playing with people's lives behind labels and things of that sort, and it's not a good time. It's not a good time for anybody involved with anyone getting labeled, being under the radar of being labeled and whatnot. And the way we're supposed to be doing that is we're supposed to label the right way, of course, not abusing the power of labels, and we're supposed to label and kind of like disassociate with the labels, if that makes any sense. Like we're supposed to, we are a thing because we are a thing. We're in existence. If we're acknowledged, then you're within the realms of existence. You are a thing, but you're supposed to let go of that thing. You know, just let what you are be what you are, and that has to be proven with evidence, of course. But yeah, you're supposed to let what you are be what you are, or if a thing is a thing, let it be what it is, unless it's being altered in any kind of way. But still, then don't just go out of your way to force a label. Label or be a label, detach, and don't abuse labels. A turtle isn't a fish, so don't call a turtle a fish. A porcupine isn't a dog, so don't call a porcupine a dog. We have labels, and like I said in the beginning, we label things for reasons, for good reasons. It's to make mental note of what the thing is. And now when it comes down to people, say for instance, you're working a job, right? And the job has you to be picking up people who might have been participating in crimes, or picking up people who might have participated in whatever you can think of that's crime related, okay? Whether it's smuggling something or vandalism to exploitations and things of that sort. Uh, you could be going to ensure safety on a citizen or something like that. Then we label you as a police or a cop. That's just what it is. You take that and just let it go. That's what you are, you know. And that's not a bad thing. It's just an occupation, and that's your label for what you do as an occupation. Uh, that's the importance, and we're really driving the nail home with the labels, calling people things that they aren't. It creates a cognitive dissonance within people, because rumors and things, and then people act a certain way. Say for instance, why did I use cops as an example? I use cops as an example because people who are considered someone who would snitch, they're identified as a cop, and people can take that label and just throw it about, and without anyone knowing, that person could be under some serious heat with other people. And that just goes for any label. But I just said that because it's a good example. If people, the saying goes that people don't like snitches, so if someone's a snitch and they're labeled as snitch, then maybe somewhere along the lines said snitch will end up getting a stitch. And it could be for no good reason. We're using labels to sweep things underneath the rug. People are hiding what they're doing in the dark using labels, and that's not a good thing. That's how we're abusing power. I couldn't find any other way to to exemplify that, using good versus bad and bad versus good. But what I'm getting at is things are upside down because of the misuse of labels. And labels are important. I know there's a lot of people who don't think labels to be important, but labels are very much important. And I get it though. I get both sides. Basically in the middle, the center, balance when it comes down to labels. because labels are important. But I don't like when labels are being misused. You know, it's bad times. It's a bad mojo when labels are being misused because everybody thinks a thing when the thing isn't a thing, and then we're just saying a thing just because we heard it be said, because we're keeping mental note. At least we're trying to keep mental note is what you remember. You remember something that's labeled something. Hello. So that's the importance of labels. When we're misusing labels, we're taking labels into our own hands and we're creating power. And when we should not be doing that, and we're sweeping things underneath the rug with labels. Hello. Yeah, we're misusing labels and sweeping things under the rug with power. Can't say it enough. Now I want to get on to this section about labels when it comes down to a label that just isn't physical. Like you just stumble upon a thing, and you just know it's there, right? Uh, but as far as people, like say for instance, uniforms. When it comes down to uniforms or what you wear or what you do, we do that. We got Jamal down the block with a ski mask on. You know what they label him. We got Run down the block with the skateboard and ripped jeans. You know what we label them. Why am I saying we? I'm not in it. Those people. You know what we label them. That's also another thing that's misused and should be reused or at least resaturated in a certain type of way. We're labeling things like that even the wrong way, I'd say. I mean, for a good amount of it, we are labeling it the right way, but I mean, like, we're wearing the label. That's better. That's better said. The labels are being worn wrong. Like, someone would go out of their way to put on a ski mask and exaggerate the label. You know, sometimes it's not even about a color. It's just the label. You put on a ski mask, and all of a sudden you done transform like you the mask or son of the mask. You know, I have done things of that sort myself. I'd say, put on some skins and a band shirt. Got that on now, and would go out my way to just make a point to say I am who I am. That's only because of false labels and gang stalking. But this ain't about that. This is neither here nor there. But just doing this and not actually just coming to terms with what you're doing isn't really necessarily good. And it can be dangerous. There's a bunch of mud skimps that actually carry on out with dangerous things when it comes down to that. They take their outfit or their uniform and they become this character, and they stay into character up until the point where someone loses a life or someone gets hurt or something dumb happens, or for even this can occur. Sometimes people, they masquerade as something that they're not when it comes down to a profession. And when they get in that profession and it's time to handle that profession, something bad happens, from labels. From labels, wearing the labels wrong. Like you're labeling, dude. You're labeling wrong, dude. Like, nope, that's not what you are. You're labeling wrong, dude. So yeah, misusing labels. That's it. That's all I wanted to talk to you about today. And I'm gonna take my stage exit right amongst this pipe. See you guys.